stuck in the middle of the pool. Come on. Go, unicorn. Go. I'm in San Jose, California at RRS Auto Group. Here to look at this 1988 Ferrari Testarossa to replace my 1995 Ferrari F355 that unfortunately burned to the ground, but I'm well prepared this time. Beautiful car. I have always wanted these. The owner's name is Steve, and this is his shop. I think he probably lives here. I would live here. How's it going?
Very good.
So this is a crazy setup you have here.
Oh, thank you.
Looks like mostly Porsches though, huh?
Yeah, that's where my heart is.
Right. So where'd this Ferrari come from?
Well, so a friend, I'm 50, so I'm really into Miami. Vice was my friend. He bought it, and I talked him into selling it to me.
Really?
Bucket list, yeah.
Yeah? So why are you selling it?
So, as you observe, my heart at the end is in Porsche and Lamborghinis.
Right.
This is amazing ride. I have a really good time with it. But I'm just not part of the Ferrari crowd. I decided to have someone else enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's walk around this thing.
By the way, you may not need that for this car.
I'll put it down. Maybe on the test drive you don't think we'll need it?
I don't think
so.
Oh,
okay. I'll put it down. All right, let's look. I just wanted to be ready. All right. Wow.
Yeah, the red hat.
Wow. Flat 12. And the wheels are not factory, but there's a reason for that, right?
That's right. So this is one of the rare ones. So this is the first half of 1988.
Okay, sorry.
That's right. It's not your 355. You can be gentle. It's too close.
Yeah.
So this is the early 88 with the single bolt. But not only that, but this have the metric size wheels.
Metric wheels. So.
Super rare, super collectible. I still have the set of original wheels, the metric wheels, but it's very hard to find the tires.
Right.
I have to confess, I never spent too much time searching for them.
Right. Well, these wheels are period correct and appropriate, and
very much
kind of makes it one of a kind.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm into it.
very good.
Yeah, we should probably take it for a test drive, though.
Let's do that.
You gonna let me drive it?
You bet.
All right. Get to drive it in a shopping mall. This is weird.
right,
This is California, where there's like a collection of businesses in here, like it's a mall, except it's for cars and motorsports. So. Is it okay if I call you Rico through the rest of this?
Sure, if I can call you Sonny.
That'll work. Ooh, left. All right. Oh, that's heavy steering there.
It is. You can't work out of it.
Yeah. I've kind of got non-manly arms. I'll probably grow some. Takes a little bit of effort to get it in the gear with this gated shifter.
Yeah, it does.
Is that normal?
Yeah. It's 10 to 80s feel.
Almost feel like I'm forcing it. Does it get better when it warms up, though?
It does. So it takes a while for the fluids to go around. And after that, it's pretty smooth. Yeah, open it up a little bit.
Sounds good, but
That can be the flat 12.
yeah, it's a little quiet, though. That's factory exhaust?
You know, it is. So tube exhaust is a pretty popular modification.
Yeah. I got so used to that Capristo with the 355. It's just amazing noise. Let's see. I do not want to hit a Camry on a test drive. No. I've been waiting for this moment. Oh, yeah. That's great. And this is actually really comfortable, too. I'm surprised. I guess the size of it, it's got good visibility, which is a thing that you don't get on supercars.
That's true. Places on the left.
In here? Or no? Oh, over the trail road tracks. Yeah, I recall now. They make a left and the right, and then, or are we gonna?
You pull in at the back.
Yeah. Well, Rico. Rico. You know, it's not nearly as much of a pig as I thought it would be, especially after it warmed up.
Yeah.
It is fun. It's definitely heavy, especially in the parking lot with the steering, but
No power steering.
but once you're going and once it's warmed up and, it's a fun car for sure.
Really is.
It's the cheapest running Ferrari Testarossa in the USA, and I'm getting a really nice one. I don't even know. I don't know what to do. This is amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely sold, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. When you emailed me, I was really impressed for two reasons. First, you've done your homework. You told me exactly what you're looking for. You've done your pricing homework. You even told me that your offer was on the low end. But you didn't tell me who you were. So I Googled the email address. Found that, hey, that's Cooley's garage.
Yeah.
Of course, he's buying the cheapest car.
Yeah.
But I was impressed. You came across as very sincere. You didn't brag about being a celebrity. Give me a
Celebrity.
car to drive. Well, you are. 500,000 followers ain't bad. But you didn't brag about it. You didn't ask for a car for a month, right?
Yeah.
So
Well-
you're the right owner for the car.
I can't wait to get this back to Kansas, and we'll take it to future Tyler back in Kansas. Hello, Tyler from the future. Welcome. Enjoy your car. Thanks, Past Hoovie, you handsome devil, you. Now, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to that guy because he's really something stupid anyway. But I imagine a lot of you are hearing these Miami Vice references and they're going right over your head. So let me give you a little history lesson here. Apparently in the 80s, you needed to wear pajamas and drive a Ferrari to solve crimes in Miami. And initially, Detective Crockett and Rico Tubbs were driving around in a black Ferrari Spider, like I was. Now, coincidentally, that black Ferrari convertible was blown up by a Stinger missile. It exploded, which later birthed an internet meme with Crockett's sunglasses. Liam Neeson is involved in this episode somehow as an IRA guy who's sleeping with a female detective in Miami Vice while also wanting to use another Stinger missile to blow up the Concorde. But yada yada yada, Liam Neeson is shot off a building to his death, and after the Ferrari exploded, Crockett got a white Testarossa to continue his very important police work. So in this instance, life imitates art, as my black Ferrari exploded, and I bought this so I could continue my very important YouTube work. It's life and death YouTube work. And if you want more of my thoughts on my latest Ferrari purchase, link below is my article on autotrader.com/oversteer. Now, back to the blown up Daytona on Miami Vice, it actually wasn't real. They used kit cars that were based on the Corvette C3, and the company that was building them was eventually shut down after a lawsuit from Ferrari. Apparently, Enzo Ferrari himself was a fan of the show, but hated seeing the replicas being used so much that he offered to give 2 Testarossas for free to use on the show, one for beauty shots and one for stunts. But it's also rumored that it was under the condition that the fake Daytona gets destroyed on screen somehow. He must have really hated it, so that's why the original Miami Vice Ferrari's death is kind of random. But fans didn't have to mourn it for too long since the white Testarossa showed up in the next episode. Sadly, nobody at Ferrari wanted to give me a Testarossa, so as you saw earlier, I had to go out and buy this one, which at $83,000 was the cheapest running and driving Testarossa that was available to me at the time. As for how I'm able to afford this, I really can't. With my original F355, I bought it broken by trading my Acura NSX plus $10,000. I could have sold my NSX for $38,000 or so. So when you factor that, plus the 10 grand, plus the few grand in repairs, I was around $50,000 into it. Now, it was worth a bit more than that, and when I insured it, I didn't do collector's insurance with agreed value because I didn't want the mileage restrictions. I know, you idiot! But it actually kind of worked out. These sunglasses definitely aren't working out. So when my Ferrari blew up, it took 2 weeks to get the insurance settled since it needed a special team to investigate and come up with a value. And they initially came up with a very low price, which made me mad. So I sent over all the most overpriced listings that I could find, which ranged from $70,000 to $90,000. And we eventually settled things pretty quickly, actually. And I got a $74,000 check. Pretty good. So as devastated as I was to lose the 355, with its glorious Capristo exhaust and gated shifter, it put me within spitting distance of this Testarossa. Now this car is a 1988 with the same Miami Vice cocaine white, Bianco white on cookies and cream color scheme in the interior, but you can tell it's a few years newer than the Miami Vice car since it has 2 normal mirrors rather than a single flying mirror. It has low mileage, a recent full engine out major service, and it drives really well. So why did I get it so cheap? Well, other than the seller giving me a D-list YouTuber celebrity discount, they really don't trade for as much money as you think. 10 years ago, this would have been a $40,000 to $50,000 car. That's it. Now, a few years ago, these things were trading for over $100,000, but now they've come back down to earth some. Now, in my opinion, $83,000 is really cheap for an 80s poster car icon, especially since its main rival, the Lamborghini Countach, sells for $250,000 or more nowadays, and the two cars certainly share a similar cachet. Crazy styling, 12-cylinder engine, celebrity ownership, and endless 80s pop culture credits, but the Countach is a much rarer car, as less than 2,000 of those were built, while total Testarossa production was a little over 7,000. To me, the Testarossa is the much better buy of the bunch, not just because of the lower price, but also the drivability. The visibility is actually pretty good out of this thing. Got a back window you can see out of. And as far as supercars go, this is the land yacht of the bunch. It's pretty smooth, comfortable, quiet, and for the most part, pretty easy to drive. It's no wonder Dr. Dre, Sir Mix-a-Lot, and Michael Jordan had one. Along with Elton John and Don Johnson, the guy that played Crockett in Miami Vice, he was actually given another Testarossa by Enzo Ferrari. And now you can add me to the illustrious list of Testarossa owners. That dog will not shut up. Now, despite the way it looks, this really is more of a comfortable touring car than a supercar. I know that sounds crazy, but see for yourself. Ooh. Get low, get low, get low! To the windows. Ah! Snake attack, snake attack. Hey, okay. Ha! Now, inside you have nice comfy seats that you're definitely secured into with the automatic seat belt, a gated dogleg 5-speed manual transmission, and most of the modern conveniences, but it's placed strangely down by the shifter in a configuration that makes zero sense. You have climate control buttons in different places mixed with window switches and hazard switches, a cigarette lighter, and a button for the electric popper for the glove box. Now, the sun visors, they don't have mirrors, but when you open the glove box, there's a giant mirror inside of it. It doesn't fold horizontal though, or detach. It's just for doing your makeup. The Testarossa was also delivered without a radio installed at all. You got speakers but no radio, and that's because dealers or the new owner could decide what head unit they wanted to put in. And I'm thrilled that this one has a period Alpine unit inside of it, which is like the poster I had when I was a kid that my dad actually gave me, although that had a Countach on it. Now, one more weird part of this car, even though the cigarette lighter's down here, the ashtrays are up here in the door, where probably the window switches would be, and the passenger has one as well. Riddle me that. But despite all this weirdness, it is very functional. Now, the Testarossa isn't all that fast by today's standards, 385 or 90 horsepower, with a 5.2 second 0 to 60, despite it being a giant 12-cylinder engine. I mean, look at this. This flat 12 goddess is a total work of art, but it could have been a lawnmower engine for all I care, because outside this thing is a style icon. These side strakes feeding into the wide swooping rear is just gorgeous, but it's also functional as it feeds air into the radiators on both sides. They kept the strakes going with the back as well across the tail lights. And then there's the wedge nose and the pop-up headlights. It's just sensory overload to me. So while the 355 was great, the purchase was more of a crime of opportunity, as I wasn't looking to buy a 355, but I was thrilled to have it. This car, on the other hand, is a childhood dream come true. I'm not sure why, since I was barely potty trained by the end of the 1980s, but still, I've always wanted one. Now, they say you should never meet your heroes, as it's usually a disappointment, but at this moment, there's zero regrets buying this thing. Still, that may change when something breaks, as the running costs are supposed to be obscene, plus my mechanic, the car wizard, hasn't looked the car over yet. I bought it without a pre-purchase inspection. Wish me luck on that one, and thank you for watching. Yeah, I look cool, don't I? Oh yes. It's really hot today, and I'm not sweating too bad because these pajama pants breathe really well. It's actually a very functioning costume for Miami. Now they own the Ferrari, they can probably get away with wearing it every day, right?